Olá, pessoal! Estou de volta aqui com mais um vídeo da série de entrevistas e hoje com um convidado international. Estou aqui com o William Nutt. Então, a partir de agora, eu vou virar uma chavinha e vou começar a falar em inglês para a gente começar a entrar mesmo na entrevista. Então, today we are going to be with William Nutt, the founder of Nutt Labs, that is a New York-based digital strategy firm and also Notion Consultancy. He's the creator of Notion VIP, and I learned a lot from him this last month. Thanks for your time, William. It's a pleasure to talk with you.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm so pleased to be here with you.
Yeah, we are here to discuss a little bit more about how to think and build a minimalist Notion setup. And a lot of people here knows that I am a big fan of minimalism. And I think applying that Notion to Notion, it's very cool. And I learned a little bit of that with William. But first, before we enter into Notion, I would like to know, William, what drew you into Notion? And what is your role right now in the Notion community?
Yeah, well, so it was probably 2 years ago. I had always been interested in productivity tools and this idea of kind of an all-in-one tool that merged so many different other tools like spreadsheets and word processing tools and calendars and databases and to-do lists, all of these different kind of categories of productivity tools. I was interested in these approaches to kind of merging them into one kind of unified productivity tool. But every single one that I tried seemed to kind of fall short in some way. It was either too complex or too kind of developer oriented. I'm a big fan of really strong design, and a lot of them were really poorly designed. So when I came across Notion, I was really excited to see this sort of minimalist approach to an all-in-one productivity tool. And not only was it simple in a lot of ways, but it also had a really strong value for really strong design, which, as I said, had been kind of absent from the other tools. So I found Notion to sort of offer the perfect balance between capability and features, but also, minimalism and really, really strong design and simplicity. So I'd always been kind of a computer nerd, a digital media enthusiast. So as a digital media enthusiast does when he gets excited about a new tool, I made a website about it. And that website is Notion VIP at notion.vip. And the timing was really good because I began publishing content, resources, mostly written, with some kind of screenshots in a lot of ways. And eventually that led me to start producing YouTube videos. And through the website and through the YouTube videos, I started to kind of cultivate a following among YouTube or among Notion users. And Notion was growing really quickly. That community of users was growing really quickly. So I began to kind of grow an audience. And that allowed me to develop a little bit of an authoritative voice among those users and eventually establish a relationship directly with Notion. So fast forward a couple of years, my relationship and my role in the community is really multifaceted. I continue to offer resources through YouTube and through the website and some other channels for users, but I also consult, as you mentioned. I consult kind of teams and sometimes individual users when they really want to get my expertise and my hands on their actual workspaces. And I also work directly with Notion. I'm contracted by them to do some special projects. So it's really been a fun journey, and my role, to your point, has really expanded and diversified in a lot of ways. And one of the elements, and I know that we're going to talk a little bit more about this, but one of the elements of my relationship with Notion that I'm kind of best known for is this methodology I've established called the bulletproof methodology. And with that, I have a template that's pretty widely adopted. So it's, like I said, it's been a really fun process. I was drawn to Notion because of its kind of proper balance of minimalism with capability. But now, kind of the most gratifying part of it is the really strong community of users that Notion has. That's, if I was hooked by the strong design and the minimalism, I was kept around by the strong community of users, because it's an absolute joy to engage with them on a daily basis through a variety of channels.
I agree. And in the last years, it's growing. And I think we share those values of good design and simplicity and everything like that. But here in Brazil, we have the community growing like every month, but I still receive this feedback that is too much. Like, I feel overwhelmed by Notion. That's the feedback that I usually get, because there is too many possibilities in a blank page, literally. It is in a blank page, we have many things to do. So what do you think is the best way for people to learn the fundamentals of Notion?
Yeah. So that's a really common reaction that users have when they first see Notion. It looks simple and clean in a lot of ways, but then once you actually start trying to use it, you kind of get the sense that it's actually more complex than it appears at first. And so kind of the first kind of principle to keep in mind is that Notion is not an existing productivity or project management tool with a fixed framework like Asana or Trello or Basecamp, like these tools that users often are migrating from. Notion's more of a kind of a blank canvas that you can develop your own app on using the infrastructure that Notion provides. So think about it as kind of an app development tool more than an existing project management framework.
Yeah, I like.
And it's kind of the simplest way to tailor a workflow infrastructure or a knowledge management center specifically for your use case. So again, that kind of gets back to the balance of capability and simplicity. Notion presents a world of opportunity for you to create a system for your specific needs while maintaining a certain degree of simplicity. So that's kind of the number one principle to keep in mind is kind of what you're working with. You can't jump into it thinking, you're immediately going to understand this infrastructure, because it doesn't even exist yet. What you need to understand is kind of the way that Notion is composed and how you can use its different features to actually create your own customized infrastructure. And so the best way to learn the fundamentals of Notion and how you can start to kind of develop your own workspace, there's really kind of two elements to learning Notion. One is the actual tactical features of Notion, working with pages, working with blocks, working with databases, the actual features. And then the other is learning kind of the methodologies that are often referenced in designing a workspace. And so for that first part, kind of the tactical features, a lot of that can be learned through the content that experts are publishing and that Notion itself is publishing. A variety of figures in the Notion community have websites and have YouTube channels, and Notion now is producing, like 2 to 3 minute videos, quick kind of digestible videos on how to use a certain feature. But you'll just want to reference those channels, and there's a really strong community on Twitter, and there's a really strong Facebook group. And of course, Gabriela, you're publishing your own content. So we've all got it. So I would, just start by watching some kind of high level videos and reading some tutorials. But really, if you're like me, the best way to learn a tool is going to be through practical use. So I remember, I had a big interest in sailing at one point in my life, and I tried to read a bunch of books about how to sail. And then when I finally got on a boat, I was totally lost. I had no idea how to sail. You got to really get your hands on it in order to learn it. So I would start with some simple needs, some simple use cases, and actually apply them to Notion. Try to implement them yourself. As you know, one of the most common use cases is going to be project management. So, have projects and have tasks, and try to, manage just one project in Notion. It could be something as small as as fun as planning a trip, for example, or choosing, I'm in the process of moving now, so I'm buying furniture. So, I'm organizing that whole process in Notion. You can really use Notion for any of these organizational needs. So pick kind of a relatively simple project, pick something that's fun, because it's important to stay enthusiastic and interested, and apply it to Notion as you're learning kind of the fundamentals through these YouTube channels and through these other resources online. Notion also has a really robust help and support page that's really well categorized. So when you encounter any problems, you can reference that. So that's kind of the tactical side of it, but you're also going to want to take time to learn the kind of the methodical side of it. And so once you know how to use databases, and once you know how to use all of the different block types, there's just so many different ways that you can assemble these different features. And you really want to start with kind of an informed methodology, because that's going to allow you not only to create a workspace that's really functional for you, but also one that's sustainable in the long run. Because as a lot of longstanding Notion users know, you'll reach a point one weekend where you just want to start all over again. You just want to kind of rip it all up and start over. And so in order to avoid that kind of urge to do that, you want to start with a system that's going to be scalable and sustainable in the long run. So in order to do that, you can reference, again, those YouTube channels from experts, but there's kind of a smaller number of resources directly related to kind of the design, the composition of a workspace, and how to organize your resources. And these methodologies are informed by kind of traditional productivity methodologies. A lot of people have heard of the getting things done method. And there's one methodology that's referenced really often in almost every Notion method, and that is the PARA method. That's an acronym, PARA, which is kind of like how to organize your second brain in life. It was created by a guy named Diego Forte. So a lot of these methodologies that are specific to Notion have been adapted from traditional methodologies. So it even helps to go back and learn PARA and learn getting things done. And the Eisenhower matrix, for example, is a way of prioritizing tasks. All of these different systems can be applied to a Notion methodology. And so a couple of popular resources for learning Notion-specific implementation methods. There's an expert named August Bradley who has his system called Pillars, Pipelines, and Vaults. And he's got a YouTube channel that users often reference as they're scoping out their own workspaces. Marie Polan is kind of the original expert. She's got an abundance of sources that can walk you through different methods of kind of planning and implementing your workspace. And then, as I mentioned, I've established my bulletproof methodology that's informed by a lot of these kind of traditional productivity methodologies. And I've published that at Notion.vip, as well as my own YouTube channel.
Cool. So I think it's very important for you to mention that we have so many possibilities for strategies and methods, and it's important for you to understand that with time, you understand what you can apply inside Notion. And I have some clients here that come to start working with me that they put so much information inside Notion, and now they need to filter. So because there is so much and it's impossible to sustain, to keep it going, like they use more time to maintain the platform than the platform is telling you than what to do, right? So it's a lot. So let's talk a little bit about the bulletproof methodology. Can you tell a little bit more about the best practices do you have to build a Notion workspace? And is the bulletproof methodology a minimalist setup for Notion?
Yeah. Well, I would consider it a minimalist setup, even though it does kind of use some pretty advanced features of Notion. But it's minimalist in that, like I said, when you plan a Notion workspace, you want to make it sustainable and you want to make it scalable. So to me, minimalism means retaining a consistent infrastructure long term, committing to a really organized way of organizing your information, a consistent way of organizing your information so that you're not using kind of one method in this corner and one method in this corner. And then over time it's evolving and some of it gets lost. So minimalism in one respect is going to be, a pre-established, scalable and sustainable infrastructure. And that's kind of what this bulletproof method is all about. So kind of the core principle of it, and my number one recommendation for any Notion workspace is going to be to use databases for basically everything. A database inherently is going to kind of force you to keep all of your information saved within a really well-established sort of architecture. And so what the bulletproof method does, and what I recommend even for those who aren't necessarily following bulletproof to a T, is to centralize all of your information within related master databases. So, getting back to projects and tasks, you would have all of your projects in a master projects database and all of your tasks in a master tasks database. You wouldn't have an independent database for each project's tasks. You would just have a master centralized tasks database and a master centralized projects database. So for the other types of content you would be storing in Notion, you might have a master people database and a master companies database. And another one of those kind of traditional productivity methodologies that inform kind of Notion specific methods is the OKR, or Objectives and Key Results system, for tracking goals. So, employing that in Notion means you can have a master database of objectives and a master database of their key results. So again, the kind of core principle here is that you centralize information within related master databases. And those databases can all be stored on a page somewhere that you never really have to see or access, because what Notion allows you to do is to create nice contextual views of all of those databases. So getting back to projects and tasks, you can only view the tasks database by project, for example, or you can only view tasks by the person that it's assigned to, or you can view tasks by the time frame in which they're required to be completed. So that's kind of what the advantage of this approach is that you have everything saved within master databases, and then Notion allows you to view it in all of these different ways. Whereas if you had them separated into independent databases, you wouldn't have the ability to roll up all of your tasks into a single view. So I have a little bit of a demonstration of this concept, if you wouldn't mind me sharing here quickly. So this is me, this Notion VIP, and you can find me on Twitter at William Nutt. So what we have here is just a very common example and very much a simplified example of master databases that demonstrates kind of the relationship that I'm describing. So theoretically, we would have a master database of all of a company's clients. And then we would have a master database of all projects and a master database of all tasks. And so you can see that each task is assigned to a particular person. That's using a person property in Notion. It also has a deadline and a checkbox property to indicate that the task has been completed. Now, what these databases also have are relation properties. So these relation properties allow you to relate databases to other databases, and particularly you can relate items of databases to items of other databases. So what that means is that we're forming kind of parent-child relationships in Notion. And this is really where you're going to have the ability to flex the muscles of Notion. So each client is related to multiple projects, or in other words, each project here is related to one client. So the client is kind of the parent of this parent-child relationship. And then very much similarly, each task is related to a project. So a project is basically made up of multiple tasks. And when you complete all of a project's tasks, you have completed the project. So, you know, another common master database is going to be a resources database where you can store kind of referential information such as standard operating procedures or a project overview or a user guide. It's kind of your catch-all for information that you reference. And really just among the many advantages of saving all of your information within databases instead of these kind of free-floating pages is that it's by having these properties and by choosing relational items rather than kind of freely entering text, you're going to keep your information really well structured, consistently structured, scalable, sustainable. You're going to avoid redundancy, and you're going to also make yourself less vulnerable to human error. So we have these three different master databases. They're all interrelated, where tasks are related to projects and projects are related to clients. So what that allows us to do is, because in Notion, every item of a database is also a page, which is kind of Notion's most advantageous feature, in my opinion. It's what sets Notion apart, really. We can open up the page of a client, and within that page, we can see a view of projects that displays only the projects for that client. And so what that also means is that we can open up a project and we can see only the tasks associated with that project. Now, the way that we can automate this is through a template. And I won't get into, exactly how to create a template in Notion, but we can click on this pre-configured template and it's going to populate automatically with a list of our tasks database, and it's going to be filtered automatically to show only the tasks for that project. So this is, demonstrating how we have these master databases. They're all interrelated, and they each serve as their own contextual sort of dashboard where we see only the items from other databases that are related to the item that we're viewing. So within client A, we see only the projects that are for client A. And if we open up one of those projects, we see only the tasks for that particular project. And then within each of these views, within each of these linked databases, we can have multiple views. So we can see the non-completed tasks for this project. And if we check off one of these tasks, it disappears. So we would see that if we go and look at all tasks. Now, another kind of advantage to this approach is that you're going to have, you can have like a personal dashboard or a team dashboard, and you can filter databases within that dashboard for the me for me, meaning if there's a person property, for example, if there's a responsible property for tasks, then you can have a view that shows only your tasks. And that can be tasks for all projects, but it can be filtered to show only your tasks on your dashboard. So this is, getting at this advantage of having consolidated master databases, because if you were to have independent tasks databases for each project, you couldn't roll up all of your tasks across projects within your kind of headquarters view. So you can begin to get a sense of kind of the benefits of centralizing information within master databases and then using Notion's linked databases with filters and sorting rules and various views to access that information. And that is kind of the fundamental principle of the bulletproof methodology. And what bulletproof does is it takes this kind of core concept and it adapts it to common uses of Notion. So the bulletproof framework is going to have already in place projects and tasks, and as I mentioned, objectives and key results, and that resources database, and it has what's called buckets, which are just kind of like a high level way of categorizing the information in your workspace or the work that you do. So basically, bulletproof is just a manifestation. It's actually kind of a built framework that implements this kind of core principle that I'm describing. So I know that it's really a lot to digest, but that core principle really will allow you to build your workspace in a way that ultimately will be minimal, because it's going to create an infrastructure that is really well defined and scalable. Whereas, you'll find yourself otherwise using a bunch of free floating pages without a really well defined structure for organizing them. And ultimately, what may seem like a minimalist approach at first is going to grow over time into being a workspace that's pretty unmanageable. But by using databases for all of your information and then accessing them through contextual views, you'll keep your information really well structured and scalable and sustainable in a way that will, maintain peace of mind in a way that minimalism is intended to do.
Yeah, what I see from my experience that this framework helps a lot people that are starting, because it is more lean. So when you are starting, you don't want to put everything you have inside Notion. You want to start with a project, like William mentioned, with your meal planner or planning a trip or anything like that. So it's basically projects. So what I like about this framework is that we can understand this logic of projects and tasks very easily. And when I came across with the bulletproof methodology, that's what keeps my attention, because I learned how, you can use a simple workspace that will give you the complexity that you need to build more workspaces inside Notion. So you work with entrepreneurs and companies, and what do you think it's important that entrepreneurs need to keep an eye on when they are building a system on Notion? Because we have so many possibilities and people want to just include to make the system to be ready to start, right?
Yeah. It would really, that just kind of goes back to those core principles I was just describing. You kind of want, as much as you want to understand the tactical features of Notion, it's really helpful to have a really well-defined methodology in advance of creating your workspace. So when I work with clients, one of the kind of key steps that we take in advance of developing the workspace is, initially what we'll do is we will define kind of what are the goals, what exactly do you want to do in Notion? And typically that'll fall into kind of 4 different categories. We'll have knowledge management. So that's kind of like an internal wiki. We'll have project management, which is managing projects and tasks. We'll have relationship management, which is kind of keeping track of people and organizations and sometimes opportunities or deals the way that a traditional CRM does. Yeah. And then the 4th category is kind of goal tracking. So it's really helpful in advance of developing your workspace and even planning it to define what your goals are and what you're going to want to be tracking in Notion. And then with that, what you can do is you can take kind of the inputs that you anticipate for those different categories and create an outline of your workspace. And because, for the most part, we're centralizing everything within master databases, that outline is just like a nice toggle list using Notion. And so you can define the master databases and define the properties and define the templates and define the relationships and define the various views. And in doing that, you're going to establish an infrastructure that's really well planned in advance, so that when you go to develop it, you have very few questions left to answer, and you know that you've got a framework that you've already very carefully considered, and you're going to be able to scale over time. So really, the best way to remain mindful as you're implementing Notion is consider the methodology as much as the tactical features, and also take care to plan it out according to what you plan to do with Notion, because that's going to put you in a position where you don't have to backpedal. I mean, you'll always be evolving your workspace, and that's really kind of another core principle, is your workspace is never done. You don't develop a workspace and say, all right, this is our system, we're finished. You'll either make tweaks to it, or you'll expand what you want to accomplish with it. So as much as you want it to be scalable and sustainable, you really want it to be dynamic and nimble at the same time. And really, this kind of centralized database approach is going to allow you to do that as well, because you can always add new master databases and new relations. And when you use database templates, and you haven't populated information with kind of free floating pages, but only filtered views of other databases, you can just wipe it out and repopulate it with the updated template. Whereas if you have kind of original databases or original pages within those database pages, you can't just kind of reset it. It's certainly important to consider all of what you'll be doing in advance as much as you can, so that you can create this kind of prescriptive outline.
Cool. Yeah, I think it's important to understand that it's a process and a never-ending process. There is always growing and changing, and according to your projects, is also adapting to what you're doing, right? And I think that's the beauty of it, right? You can adapt when you are changing.
It is, yeah. The beauty of it is that it's totally customizable for your needs, and that doesn't just mean creating it from the beginning, but it means that as your business evolves and grows, and the nature of your work evolves, and the types of companies that you're working with expands, then your workspace can expand and evolve along with it. And I wanted to mention, I pulled up this page here, which is all Notion VIP at notion.vip/bulletproof. And you can see here that the template is accessible, but also there's a kind of a full-length walkthrough of it. So if you,
yeah, really recommend.
Yeah. So you can kind of see the full walkthrough, and kind of absorb some of the core principles through that video. And there's also a written guide that basically is the same content as the video, but in kind of a written format with screenshots, so that you can even kind of further comprehend the concepts here. Even if you don't follow the methodology to a T,
helps a lot.
There are some core principles that will be really helpful as you kind of establish your own Notion methodology.
That's totally true. Like, I read the guide, I watched the video, and I understood that what I was doing wrong. Like, I was putting a lot of pages, and then I understood like some core concepts with you to make my system more clean and more minimalist. That's what I think. And so it's highly recommended for you that's watching the video. Go there.
Yeah. Well, and thank you. And for everyone, it's a journey. I've got this template that a lot of users are adopting, but I also am constantly updating it according to my own experimentation with Notion, and particularly based on my work with clients. So just as Notion is always evolving for individual users, these methodologies are also continuously evolving according to new learnings and also new features that Notion is producing.
Yeah, that is keep coming more stuff every month. So it's good for us to understand that it's a process. So William, you showed us a little bit more about the Bulletproof space, but you are always producing content on your YouTube, office hours. Where can users find you online?
Yeah, so really the best place is going to be Twitter. If you're on Twitter, as I mentioned, I've got my handle at William Nutt, and then Notion VIP. It's it's a newsletter as much as it is a website. I haven't not been great about publishing or distributing it via newsletter recently, but it's got a really substantive following, so I've recommitted to distributing it. Hopefully on a monthly basis. So I recommend a follow on Twitter, and then particularly a subscription to that newsletter, and also the YouTube channel for sure, because for everything I publish for everything I publish to the website and in the newsletter, I'm also got an accompanying video. So you can find that pretty easily through these other channels. I think it's youtube.com/William Nutt too.
Good. I think the videos are very useful because you can see the application of it. And for me, like I'm a YouTube fan, so I'm always following the videos there. And William, if people want to learn about the bulletproof and buying, what do you recommend to start with the guide, with the video, like buying the template? What do you have for us?
Yeah, well, like I said, I mean, it's getting your hands on this content is really the best way to learn it and understand it. So if you do purchase the template, then you will have the opportunity to do that. But you're certain whether or not you do purchase the template, the video and the guide are free. So either way, you're going to want to watch the video, so you can get the template and then watch the video as you tinker with it, or you can watch the video first. That's entirely up to you, but either way, certainly watch the video. And I think, Gabriella, for the folks that are tuning in here, we're going to make the template available to them at a pretty considerable discount too. So we'll be sure to include that in the video description and all of the accompanying documentation, because we want this to be accessible.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you so much. Thanks for sharing with us your thoughts about Notion, about how to build a more minimalist workspace. And again, I'm a big fan and I'm very happy to share this chat with you. And I hope we can do that more often. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and I'll be happy to come back anytime. It's a lot of fun.
Great. See you. Bye.